I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Oman to introduce a statement by the Minister.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, Excellencies, dear colleagues, honorable ladies and gentlemen, peace and blessings of God be upon you. It is my honor to introduce the pre-recorded statement of the Sultanate of Oman at the 75th session of the United Nations General Assembly by His Excellency, Minister for Foreign Affairs, Mr. Badr bin Hamad bin Hamood Albusaidi. Thank you. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate, Your Excellency, President Volkan Bozkır, it gives me pleasure at the outset to congratulate you and your brotherly country, the Republic of Turkey, on your election as President of the 75th session of the United Nations General Assembly. We reiterate our full confidence in your able and wise leadership of the Assembly. I would also like to express our thanks and appreciation to your capable predecessor, His Excellency Tijani Muhammad Bandi of the Republic of Nigeria, for his efforts throughout his presidency of the previous session. As the United Nations celebrates its 75th anniversary, we would like to seize this opportunity to express our deep thanks and appreciation to the United Nations and His Excellency Secretary General Antonio Guterres and his staff for their continued and tireless efforts to maintain international peace and security. We would like to assure you of the Sultanate of Oman's readiness to continue cooperating with the United Nations and all its member states to achieve the noble purposes of the organization. Your Excellency, Mr. President, representatives of the member states, the coronavirus pandemic, COVID-19, has imposed huge changes on our daily lives. Despite the challenges, we have to adapt to new lifestyles and remain optimistic about the future. We need to envisage the best ways and best practices to cooperate in order to achieve the common goals and purposes of our states and peoples. Similarly, the international community has a humanitarian duty to ensure the fair distribution of the resources aimed at fighting the pandemic. In particular, the rollout of the vaccines to the least developed regions where medical facilities and capabilities are limited. The COVID-19 pandemic has created harsh economic challenges. In this vein, we call upon donor nations and institutions to do their utmost to facilitate the process of debt restructuring while paying special attention to helping the most affected countries in a way that would accelerate the smooth flow of the economy and stimulate growth. Mr. President, His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq has strongly reaffirmed that the Sultanate of Oman will follow the wise policy set by His late Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Sayyid bin Taimur, may he rest in peace, the builder of modern Oman and the mastermind of its foreign policy and its international relations over the past 50 years. The Sultanate of Oman adopts the path of dialogue and encourages it. My country's government supports the values of tolerance, collective action, and peaceful coexistence with all. We believe in the principles of justice, equality, good neighborliness, the rule of law, and the non-interference in the internal affairs of others in respect of country's sovereignty. We stress the peaceful settlement of disputes based on the rules, principles, and purposes of the UN Charter and international law. It's an obligation that we should all honor. While my country supports the sovereign right of states to determine whatever action deemed fit for their national interests, our common interests makes it incumbent upon us all to support peace and to participate effectively in efforts aimed at making it prevail as a global culture to ensure people's progress and prosperity. Accordingly, the Sultanate of Oman reiterates from this international platform its support of the legitimate and just demands of the Palestinian people to establish an independent state with East Jerusalem as its capital on the basis of international law, relevant United Nations Security Council resolutions, and the Arab Peace Initiative, which is based on the principle of land for peace and the two-state solution. Mr. President, my country calls upon all stakeholders in the Republic of Yemen to join constructive dialogue in order to reach a peaceful and consensual solution to the ongoing conflict. In this regard, we call upon all parties to support the efforts of the United Nations Special Envoy to Yemen. We also call upon the international community, especially donor countries and organizations, to intensify their endeavors to provide and deliver humanitarian supplies in light of the critical situation and the tragic suffering of people in this Arab country. Your Excellency, Mr. President, we would like to express our support to the Republic of Lebanon. We call upon the international community to support Lebanon's reconstruction efforts and help it grapple with the impact of the recent tragic explosion in the port of Beirut. Turning to Libya, the Sultanate of Oman welcomed the ceasefire agreement reached and the ongoing work aimed at establishing a mechanism for the resumption of oil production and its export, as well as the management of oil revenues in the benefit of the people of Libya. We hope that the people of Libya would enjoy security, stability, and prosperity through the start of a peaceful settlement that would put an end to division, build harmony and unity among the people of this one country. Mr. President, dear colleagues, this year, the Sultanate of Oman has taken important steps to restructure and modernize its administrative apparatus in support of the current phase of economic development within the Oman Vision 2020-2040. This is based on the principles of the basic statute of the state. It is worth mentioning that our economic system is guided by the principles of market economy. This undoubtedly would enhance the value of our geographic location and its importance in international trade in the 21st century. This position is enhanced by the political stability, our potential in the tourism sector, and the diverse investment opportunities available in different fields and development sectors. Oman has actively participated in different international and regional fora that culminated from the Sustainable Development Goals and the 2030 Agenda. The Sultanate of Oman has sought to translate its commitment into key components reflected in its 9th five-year development plan and the Oman Vision 2020-2040. God's will, Oman intends to continue work to achieve all economic, social, and environmental dimensions of the Sustainable Development Goals on time. Mr. President, there is no doubt that the young people of any country represent its hope for the present and future, and they are the pillar for its development. Therefore, it's important for governments to prioritize the young and provide them with the needed resources to harness their potential, develop their talents, and ensure sustainable development. In this vein, I would like to reiterate that the Sultanate of Oman pays special attention to the youth, keeping pace with the developments in the world around us. This would help garner greater capabilities, knowledge, and development for the youth to ensure their effective participation in the process of growth and development. We live in a world of continuous and successive transformations towards scientific and technological advancement. If humanity is to still have the upper hand as the master of technology in this world, we need to find ways and means of working together better and in a more effective manner to move from one phase to the next. To conclude, Mr. President, my dear colleagues, allow me to convey our best and most sincere greetings of the Sultanate of Oman and express our best wishes to our brothers and sisters all over the world, wishing them all the best of health and prosperity. Thank you for your kind attention. May peace be upon you.
Au nom de l'Assemblée Générale,
on behalf of the General Assembly, I wish to thank the Foreign Minister of Oman for the statement that he has just made.